Day. Hello.
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 Who's that?
It's Christina.
Hello, Christina.
Oh.
Who's got the giggles? Christina? Yeah.
Yes.
What are you giggling at?
I was just giggling at Julie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me press record. Oh, Andy.
What?
You've now been. Let me claim the host back. Work out how I'm going to do that.
You need to get the system sorted.
I know. I'll claim host. Right. I'm going to do that. Right. I've claimed it. And we are now recording. Let me just, yes, we are recording. Wonderful. Great. Good morning. Good morning. It is the 7th of February, a whole month gone already, and we're into the first week of a new month. So we have a few apologies. We have Anthea, who's at a chamber meeting, Leslie, who will join us later, but he's speaking at 4N. And we also have Ian, who's this morning. So let's see. We have Christina, Dave, Julie, and me and Andy. So let's see who else joins us. So let's go around the room and get your win of the week and whiffle. So Christina, let's start with you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My win of the week really is getting more people into my workshop. It was really great having Andy in town and doing a fantastic talk, and people just rushed up and started filling out FOF forms, which is rather wonderful. So I've got some nice conversations there, and I've got more people in the workshop, so that's looking really good.
Absolutely brilliant. Yes, it was a sight to behold Thursday evening. And Dave, you were there as well. So let's go to you for your win of the week and whiffle.
My win of the week was that I was there as well. I think what was interesting about it was the fact that there was me and Christina in the room as well as Andy speaking. The amount of times Andy could, during the course of his presentation, just say, and Dave's sitting here and he does this, and there's Christina at the back, she's doing that and pointing us out and bringing us into the conversation. It just showed the power actually of having people in the room as well as the speaker.
Excellent. So you made some good connections too, did you?
I hope so. I certainly made some connections. Whether they're good or not remains to be seen. But yeah, it was good. It was just the whole atmosphere was good, and the fact that as I say, with having a couple of us in the room as well, it just seemed to make a big difference to the power of what Andy was able to get across as well. Wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll vouch for that, being at the back of the room, pointing people to you two, and also getting FOFs completed and even filling them up as we were going out the door. I mean, I think I filled 3 out after we'd left the room because great system. Andy kept saying, have you filled out the form? And if they said no, it was like, fill out the form so we can follow up properly with you. So it was great and it was exciting, and we followed the system. So it worked well. Great. Thanks, Christina. Thanks, Dave. And over to you, Julie. Your win of the week and whiffle.
My win of the week was getting my bio video completed and online. You all saw it? No, not really. My getting Tracy's profile, the VA that I've been working with. Her profile is attracting business like she's never known she's attracted business before. So I've actually got a really big success story under my belt now, which has given me a huge amount of confidence.
Superb. And yeah, it does make a difference, doesn't it? You hear all the success stories, but getting your own, there's nothing like it.
No, and she can't thank me enough, and it's just fabulous. Feels grand.
Everybody's winning. He's going to be a good source of referrals, I reckon.
I think so.
Wonderful. Thank you, Julie. Andy.
Yes, good morning all. I'm glad you're only joking, Julie, because that was a terrible bio.
Well, just for the occasion and everything.
It was nice to know we're recruiting all sorts of different cheeses into this cheese shop, because you are mad as cheese, which is great. You just, a couple of you just given me a BFO really, because win of the week. Well, we had a 4-day road trip, which was a work-life balance because we did some great domestic stuff down in London. But what was nice, because I just had a coaching call with a client, getting him to look through what he's achieved each day and each week. And in January, because he's given himself a hard time that he's not achieving much, I got 3 speaking gigs booked while we were away. And I've just had an email in this morning. Thanks for the proposal. I was hoping for 3 days training, but we'd like to go ahead with 1, but we'd like to video it so we can train other people from it. And I'll probably let that happen. I'm not going to talk about charging money for IP because it'll be great, which is interesting because I've never had a company say they want to video it before. So that's going to be interesting. I might ask for the footage, so I will ask for the footage so I can chunk it down into what might be good training videos for us as well. And then I've just had a message in from a coaching client who said she's tasked with going to get testimonials now. And I'm mentioning this because really some people are looking at what value am I giving clients or prospects. Julie's just said there's a load of value. Other people are saying, well, this seems so simple. And I really appreciate that if people are coming from a background of selling product or not even in sales, to sell your skill, your knowledge, and you for $2,500 over 12 weeks is a paradigm shift. It's a shift in thinking. And this client of mine said a year ago, I've asked this client of mine for a testimonial. I've got the 3 questions that you told me to ask him. What made you decide to come to our business? What did you get specifically from it? Why would you recommend us? But he couldn't find where to add it. I will speak to you about this on our call. So she obviously doesn't know where to add it and where to ask for it, even though I'd gone through it on a call. The reality is that is so simple, isn't it? And yet your clients out there, they don't know because they're not sitting down using it. And the fact that she's going to see a great testimonial from a client of hers, she's seen it, I've got it in front of me here. The fact she sees that will give her value, because when we look at our clients' testimonials, it's an ego boost, it's real, it's a good affirmation of what we're doing. And all I've got to show her is where to get her client to put it on her LinkedIn profile. And that sounds really simple, but it's massively valuable to her. So that's what I feel like expressing.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Yeah, it was a heck of a week. We were out and about. It's lovely having a martini business because we could work on the move. It's not quite the same as sitting at your desk with all your normal environment around you, but it worked. And we picked up more business and spoke to the event organisers about the Sales Innovation Expo as well. Various other things were happening about the Franchise Expo. And in between, emails are coming in, and I was on a very interesting webinar that I'll share some information with you on about getting more leads and making more sales. And it was from a guy who I think I met through Mark Gordon and Andrew Charlton. And this is going to link in with our team meeting on Thursday, because there's a lot of people saying exactly what we've been saying, but sometimes, I don't know whether everybody else would agree with this, but I think sometimes you need to hear the same stuff from a different source to just get a different perspective on it and think, actually, we've got that. And we have that as our system. So it's kind of we're using it all effectively. So we'll be talking about that on Thursday. I will, of course, be making notes again. And just a reminder that Thursday we are in a different venue. Check the Facebook group. I will send an email today as well, but check the Facebook group. It is a different venue. I finally got past the point of frustration with St Andrews, and I want you looked after well. So we're moving to the stables, which is actually closer to the motorway. So I will come back to that later. Steve, you've just joined us. What's your win of the week and whiffle?
Hi everyone, sorry I'm a bit late. Win of the week was probably the Reading meeting last week. in which I managed to get a presentation as well. I was the only exhibitor who got one. Managed to muscle in on the main speakers. I got 40 people who want follow-ups of various sorts, and had a really great presentation. 35 people in the room, even though speed networking was going on at the same time. So that was definitely my win. The downside of that is following them all up, which I'm still doing. But great. And every time I worry about LinkedIn and is it still of interest to people and how much have they got to learn, it's always useful to do a meeting like that and find people who still haven't got profiles, haven't got photos on their profile, and you know, the basic stuff we all take for granted.
I think,
I think that's awesome, Steve, because I've just been talking to a freelance sales agent in Portugal that might do some work for me. And he was saying, you know, what stops people learning online? Do you really still think there's a demand? It's that little voice. I'm speaking down at PIN. If you went Thursday night on your internal belief system, if you think of the training day from the sales day from induction, that little voice is powerful, and it does kick in because we remember, and it's important to have affirmations around what I know is my level of expertise. Most people out there don't, because we and you are focusing on it 24/7, and it is so easy to think, well, everybody must know this and be doing it. The amount of times in the past I've taught people to write adverts and they've gone and changed their advert, and I've said, why? Is it not working? No, it still works. So why have you changed it? Well, I just thought I'd got bored with it, so I thought other people would. What other people think is none of my business, and who are you to mind read? You're absolutely right. And the powerful thing as well, one exhibition has spun you up 40 conversations where, hey, there's all your COD calls for the next month. And that's how easy it can be. One networking event, one speaking gig, one expo. How easy is it to generate conversations? Because we generated 30 plus out of a couple of rooms. You know, that's excluding what Christina and Dave might have been talking to people. And that's because so many people in that room do want help. They know. No one is showing people this. No one is sitting down looking at it, because it's just human nature. So keep reminding yourself of that. I think that's an awesome result, Steve. Well done.
Thanks. Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. And Steve, you echoed what Andy said a few minutes ago about people. It seems so simple, but actually keep it simple. And I got to share a BFO before we go around to topics. And a BFO I had last week was the difference between training and coaching. If you stand up and you're in training mode, you're kind of missing the opportunity, because what Andy does so well, that works so well and gets people excited, is he inspires people to think differently. So what he was doing was, again, I know this is stuff we know, but it is worth repeating. He wasn't telling them what to do. He was saying what they were missing out on, why they needed to be on it, and what they could get. So he didn't tell them how to do any of it. He gave them a couple of pointers, a couple of good, clear tips. But he was basically stirring them up to think, what am I missing? This is crazy. I shouldn't be missing this. And to think what they could be getting from it. So he was definitely in coach mode. He was getting them interactive, getting them, you know, to repeat the find, connect and engage, you know, with the pause, and the find, you know, get found, give value and prove credibility, and really engaging people. He was not standing up delivering a training thing. He was talking to them, with them, inspiring them. So I think there was a massive BFO for me to kind of just share that with everybody. It isn't about standing up and training. It isn't about packing in the value of do this, do that, do whatever, because that's what they pay you for. That's what they come and work with you for, or at least come to you excited that I need this free report that's going to give me heaps of value. That's going to tell me how to do it if I want to do it on my own, but get them in your database. So keep thinking, inspire and coach and ask the questions and get them thinking rather than just telling and training. Hope that makes sense. Okay. What I'd like to do now is go around and get your topics for the call that you'd like covered today. or maybe even things that you want to raise on Thursday, although we've got a pretty full day. Or alternatively, if you don't have a topic for today, then what's your point of focus for the week? So, Christina, what's yours?
Thank you. My point of focus is just just really focusing on following up all the FOFs. Everybody's got everything now, following up all the FOFs from last week and actually getting more. I'm committed now to doing 100, getting out 100 connection requests per week. I've just had somebody come back from my engagement email of yesterday saying that they'd like to talk to me, which is good. So I'm committed to doing that. So that takes a bit of time. So I've got to get those follow-ups done and get some more invitations out.
Brilliant. And that's working much better for you now. And looking at the numbers is giving you the helping raise your commitment to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, you can absolutely.
So wonderful. Thanks, Christina. Dave.
Am I right in thinking we're going to cover something on Tuesday about the changes to LinkedIn?
Yes.
In terms of so go just a couple of points I noticed on the 90-day coaching where things might not be quite so relevant, maybe, or if we're going to be talking about that Tuesday, that's fine.
Okay. We will be looking at changes to LinkedIn. Julie was showing me some stuff yesterday because I'm still on the old one. But Julie, you're a bit of a whiz with this new one now, so you're going to give us a little bit of a talk through what you found, because you found some smart ways of doing things that we thought we couldn't do, but apparently we can. Fabulous. So that is wonderful. So Dave, anything for today's call?
Not now. No, you've covered that. That's great.
Okay, what's your point of focus for the week then?
Just to carry on getting things in place, getting my mind around what I need to be doing, and getting my all my ducks in a row and cracking on.
Brilliant. Anything in particular that you're doing in that direction?
We touched on a few things yesterday in our coaching call. I know I need to get some information off to Donna at PIN, which I'll be working on today, so that'll be done. That's my main focus. Yeah.
So getting yourself ready for your speaking gigs.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Julie, topic, point of focus?
My point of focus for this week is my follow-up stroke cod calls. As Dave just said, I've got them lined up in a row now. I'm just going to start shooting them down, pow from the hip. And I've got 2 speaking gigs. One was from you, Mary, thank you. It's at an event that's been put on for like a business link organisation, but it's for people that are unemployed and have had bad experiences that has sort of deflated them and they haven't got a lot of energy. So it's people like me that are just going to go and talk about not so much LinkedIn or anything like that, but about how you can come back from the bowels of the earth, if you like, with the journey that I've had, and it's just to share with them as an inspirational speech. But then looking at the room, if I can get my hands on the delegate list, if these people are going to start looking at setting up a business, which is what they're hoping for them to do, that they will be able to, they'll know and trust me, so maybe they'll come to me. So I don't know, it's a big net, but I'm going to throw it wide.
Well, that's great, and I think Andy will probably want to pick that up as a topic, because it's exactly that kind of room that we got Ian Preston from. So actually, you can, rather than get the delegate list, you can get them to come to you, because you can help them, and definitely through LinkedIn and getting their profile right and stuff, as well as inspiring them. Then you can be the great example of how you've got it right, and your profile kind of speaks as to who you are and what you're doing. So I'm sure, Andy, you'll want to pick up on that.
Julie,
let me go to Steve first, Andy.
Okay.
And then we're done on the topics. That's lovely, thanks. Steve, topics or point of focus for the call today?
Certainly, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be there on Thursday and Friday, as we've discussed. I've got to go off to Germany for some of my consulting business. So I'm sorry I'm not going to be there, because I would particularly be interested in talking about some of the changes, as most of you have seen my my post on it. What I'm particularly, I still haven't got a new interface. What I'm particularly interested in is the search facility and what remains of that, both on the free version and on the premium version, because I know advanced search as a button has been taken away, but I would like to know what facilities there still are for advanced search on those two, because I think LinkedIn may be killing the goose that lays part of the golden egg anyway, unless there's a workaround, and I'll be pleased to hear that. My point of contact is my workshop tomorrow. A plague seems to have descended on Berkshire over the last few days, because I've had a couple of people who were booked in have to call off because of chest infections and various other things. So I'm waiting for the locust to arrive this afternoon. At the moment, I'm trying to get some interested team leaders along and various people along to increase the numbers a little bit. But that's my focus. And then next week I've got 3 speaking gigs.
Nice. A couple of things then. I'm interested in what Julie has said, and also let's cover some of this LinkedIn stuff, because this is being recorded, which would be easier for everybody else than on Thursday. So Julie, you've been invited to speak about your story, which I think is awesome. Is that my right understanding, as opposed to any strategic topic?
That's right, yeah.
Cool. So presumably you're preparing that and getting clear with it, and thinking of the same principles of any speaking gig. Remember how to introduce any speaking gig the moment you step on stage? Can you remember the steps?
Thank the organiser, thank the people, and then thank everybody for the opportunity to speak. So it's your 3 tiles.
Okay. Do you remember either or?
Yep.
Earn the right and congratulations. So in the congratulations, I can thank the organizer. Think of the either or. It should become an automated process. So it's an easy way for you to take over from being introduced, and that grabs attention. Because in the earn the right, so either or, congratulations, earn the right. I don't know, I think I might have said it a different way, didn't I? Because the congratulations is quick, the either or is quick, and then the earn the right will depend how much time you've got. And in the earn the right, I'm presuming you're going to weave in right at the beginning in earn the right what it is you now do.
Yeah.
Around being a LinkedIn trainer and coach. So even though you're not there to teach people LinkedIn, you can weave it in right at the beginning and weave it in throughout with the here's what I do language, or here's what you can do. Ian Presson, when we were driving to an event that I was speaking at, said, I'm going to be interested to see how you're going to pitch the franchise, because you're there to speak about LinkedIn. And for me, it was easy, because I just mentioned it right at the beginning in the earn the right. Here's what I did. Here's what I did as a trainer. Here's then why I franchised it. And here's why I'm here. So make sure you weave in throughout how you can help people and help them get a job. If they're looking for jobs, how they can build a network. Think of some case studies, like my 20-year-old nephew who's connected to, their head of HR for Credit Suisse and the director of KPMG, and that there were only 3 steps from anybody in the world. Teach them the 6 degrees of separation is now 3 degrees of separation with LinkedIn. So you can inspire them. If nothing else, I passionately believe they should go away and start using LinkedIn for their own benefit, whether they want me to help them or not. So think about that. And it's the same process, obviously, Steve, with any speaking gig. So it's the difference that makes the difference. But for me, then gives me the structure that I know I can just stand on stage. I can do the either or to engage with everybody. I can congratulate them for getting off their backside, coming along when they could be watching EastEnders. I can congratulate the host for pulling it together and thank them for inviting me. And then I can earn the right. And how long is your speaking slot?
5 to 7 minutes.
So your earn the right is going to be seconds. I've come from this background. I am now doing this, which allows me to do this, meet people like you, connect with people all around the world. What I want to do in the next 4 minutes is give you my story.
Yeah.
Awesome. And still, well, you'll connect with them. I'm not sure they're exactly the same audience, Mary, as where we met Ian. But obviously, if there's people in that room, you can talk to us about how it went. That's awesome. I was going to ask anybody if there's any COD calls that you've gone through. Mate, if there's anything that you're looking at, Steve, because if you've got 3 speaking gigs next week, that's massive action. Is there anything you want to ask around how to max that out? I think you're going to need to be a schizophrenic to deal with 40 leads from the other day and 3 speaking gigs next week. I think that's pretty awesome. Is there anything that you want to know about it or just bounce through? Is there any concerns about dealing with 140 leads in the next 10 days?
Well, seeing that I've dealt with the all bar about 4 of the ones from last week, that's okay. I'm on top of that. And the meetings next week, one is a Reading exec business club, business job club. So actually people will be in a very similar situation. I've done a similar one there before, had a great deal of interest from people. They maxed out the room last time. They normally get about 12 people. They are getting on for 40. And I had a full 45 minutes to present to them. So I'm fairly confident with that. In terms of follow-up, I managed to get 2 or 3 of those onto workshops last time. So that will be my focus there. The other one is a bit different. I've got a 4N meeting, which is fine. I've done probably 7 or 8 of those now. But it's in a completely new area to me. So I'm actually going down to Southampton. Is it Southampton next week? Yeah,
Okay.
Southampton.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And this is where it's good to share. Where do your speaking gigs? Where are your events? And where do you get them from? If you've come across Adam Petford, who was the guy originally, the catalyst for me getting into LinkedIn originally, he tried to franchise his business, failed because he doesn't get on with people, and he's a bit of a funny geezer. People either like him or hate him, but he's based in Southampton. So you might have people that go, we know Adam, and you go, that's cool. My franchisor trained in him.
I knew about Adam. I also know about another guy, Steve. He's got a stupid name, the Prudent Marketeer.
Oh yeah.
Who crops up because he is down in Winchester as well. It's interesting how I've actually joined the Thames Valley Chamber of Commerce, and they were giving information about how much business generally there is in the Thames Valley as an area, for example. And there's tens of thousands of companies, billions of pounds worth of business. So, I'm sure there's room for Pettimore, or whatever his name is, the Prudent Marketeer, and myself and anyone else in there. And they've invited me. They've heard my presentation before, and they've invited me to come down and talk about it. So, I'm pretty confident I'll be okay with that one.
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm sure. I just I wanted to check in that they're there. I enjoy people coming up to me going, "Oh, I've met so and so," and I go, "Cool, how's it going? What are you doing with LinkedIn?" Well, let's hook up and have a chat. I'd love, if you want me to have a look at your profile and see what you're doing, or have a chat around how you might be able to get more out of it. Bang, I'm into a COD call then. Because once you get them on the phone and you start to coach them through what they're not doing and what they could be, you will show yourself up for being a far better coach than Petford, because he's not the best trainer. He's not a good trainer. He's now selling coaching, but he was the one who told me you can't possibly coach someone for 12 weeks on LinkedIn. So he's mirrored what we're doing. And the Prudent Marketeer, I met him at speaking gig. He doesn't speak as well as us. Also, I think he's doing more than just LinkedIn. So sort of not jack of all trades, master of none. But again, I don't diss people out there. If someone says, "Oh, I met so-and-so," I immediately just start to coach them around. Cool. So have you worked with them? So what are you doing with LinkedIn? And act surprised, dig dumb or play dumb and dig deep. I act surprised if they've not been working with them. And then you can just lead into the COD call easily. So cool. Has anybody got any examples of recent conversations at networking events or COD calls where they've not got the next step lined up, or that we can explore through? Anybody want to share the number of COD calls they've done in the last week? Julie had a bunch together, you said, from last week's call. Are there any in particular that you've not sold to, or you don't feel that you've left it in the right way? I'm big into whatever the conversation, what's the next step, what's the commitment. So I've just had this guy come back to me today, and he said he would, by the middle of the week, come back saying, we want to book you for a day, but we want to film it, so we probably don't want 3 days right now. And I was good with that because he's in my database to follow up by close of play Wednesday if he hadn't come back to me. And this is the director of a multi-million pound business. So anybody got any examples where they feel I haven't sort of tied down commitments to the next step, so I didn't get the results I wanted?
I'm particularly bad at that, the tying them down to a date at the end of the conversation. So I'll do something like I'll send the 9 points, and I'll write when I send it, I'll be in touch in a couple of weeks, and to find out how you're getting along, instead of sending it and saying, I'm free at such and such a time, when's best to contact you. So it's positioning it differently.
Okay.
So I started doing that.
Tell me the context of how and why you're sending the 9 points.
It's people that I'm meeting at network events. I'll talk about about LinkedIn. A lot of them say, well, I don't really use it that much, and so I'll, send you the 9 points. Have a look through it, and then they're like, yeah, that's fine, that's great, lovely, thank you. So then I send them the 9 points and say, as I've said, have a look at this.
So why lead with the 9 points and not lead position a COD call with them?
Do you mean at the networking event?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Remember the training session on networking at induction? So you've got the 5 steps. You've got go introduce, go into open circles. They're easier to get into. How to get permission to follow up, and then to park them to move on. So step 1 is what's your RAS. So I think what it sounds like is you've gone in there with an RAS consciously or unconsciously set of, I'll go and give them 9 points. My RAS when I'm in a networking event is to get permission to follow them up by phone. So my conversation with them is, hey, how you doing? What's going on? What do you do? I'm asking them questions. Some point they're going to ask me, what do I do? And I go, how's business? I guess you're here looking for more business, how's business at the moment? And what do you currently do to get to leads, to get new business? How's networking working for you? Who's your ideal type of client? You start asking those questions, someone's going to go, well, what the heck do you do? I show people how to get business out of LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn? I'm presuming you're on LinkedIn because there's 20 million people. Great. How's it working? It isn't really. What do you do? Would you be interested in having a chat to see if there's some other things you could do better? Would you be interested in having a chat? I'd be happy to have a chat, see if there's some ideas I can give you to get a better response from your profile or to use it more effectively. Is that something you'd be interested in? Great. Shall I give you a call in a couple of days? Then I come home, drop them a message through LinkedIn and say, hey, I'll give you a call. So my process is, yes, you introduce, you create a bit of rapport, and then I'm asking them about business. What do they do? How's business? I'm asking them what else who's their ideal client? What do they do to get there? Because I can come at it from, oh, so that's your ideal client. Yeah, why'd you ask? I'm just interested because there's people I might be able to refer to you. If I can understand who you're looking for, I don't want to refer dross to you. I've got a big network of people. I can lead into it. So what else do you do? Do you use LinkedIn? Yeah. How's it work for you? Whatever they say, I go, would you be interested in having a chat about, I think Christina uses that. If you'd like me to have a look at your profile and give you some tips, a bit of a critique on your profile, I'd be happy to do that. Offer them something. What am I offering them for free? A bit of a critique or a chat about a chat about how you could use LinkedIn better to get to those ideal spanner makers, widget makers that you said you're looking to get to. Great. Shall I give you a call in the next couple of days? If you go one step further and go, do you want to set up a time for me to give you a bell? are you free tomorrow at 9 o'clock? So I'd probably go in there with an open mind of where my diary's at. Andy Gwynn would struggle because I've got most of my diary filled back to back. You might know, well, I've got all day tomorrow and I've got the morning after. If I can actually get commitment from them, permission to ring them at a certain time, even better. What I did say on training is don't put yourself under pressure to ring them that afternoon when you run back home and get into your office. Give yourself a bit of breathing space, make it, position yourself as being organised and busy. But if I'd say to someone, you know, if you'd like me, if you want to have a chat about how I could help you with LinkedIn, or have a look at your profile and a bit of a critique, and give you some things you could do to get a better response, I'd be happy to have a chat with you about that. Oh, that'd be very nice. Great. Do you want? You got your diary? Do you want me to? I'm back in the office tomorrow. Are you free tomorrow morning? Great. I'll give you a call. What about 10 o'clock? Perfect. Thanks. Go talk to him now. I've got more networking to do.
Okay, cool. Lovely. Thank you.
So does that help?
It does. I'm going to practice that tonight now.
Yeah, get clear in your mind as to how you're going to position it. And I've used different ways, but it's the same with everybody. So this is great because it's about stopping and looking at what are you doing and just realigning it. My outcome for networking, my RAS, is to get permission to call people. Because I want the whole thing with LinkedIn is I want the conversation offline. I want to be talking to people so I can either go see them or not. You can always leave somebody at the end of your COD call with the 9 points if they're skint and they're never ever going to buy from you. But I want the COD call because I can then talk to them about the coaching program or my workshop, whichever it's going to suit them. You know, the view I had in the PIN meeting rooms last week with Christina and Dave was, if someone's never going to buy or they haven't got a big team, they need to be on Christina's workshop, which she and I had plugged that was happening. You know, if somebody's clearly not interested in the franchise, and I had someone say, well, yeah, I'm interested in both, you know, helping me with LinkedIn and your franchise, then great, I'll talk to them. If someone was down in London, we were in a room full of property investors, so you get a lot of one person, what I call solopreneurs. So they've not got businesses, they've not got teams, they've not got necessarily big budgets. Then it's easy for me to say, go talk to one person. I got a sense, and I just said, I don't know whether you'd rather work with a woman or a guy, but there's Christina over there, and I pointed her out, and there's Dave over there. Or if you want somebody on your doorstep, Christina's in London, Dave's in Maidenhead. Would you go talk to one of them? Even then, I get permission and commitment. It's not about tying people down, because that's a bit of an awful phrase. Mary won't let me tie her down.
The other thing is when people say they've nailed something, you've nailed that appointment. I just think, we
haven't heard that for a long while, and that's one person who particularly had an issue with.
A few people have used it, you know, and it's just, think about how you're talking about your prospects.
Yes. So I want to get commitment to go talk to them to help them. But even when I sent someone over to speak to Christina, I said to the woman, will you go and speak with her now? Yes. I watched her wander off towards Christina, because people are not used to making commitments. So I want to get commitment to follow up, permission and commitment. Commitment, if possible, to a time. If not, just permission to follow them up. So I can ring them in a day or two later and say, hey, Jules, we met with so-and-so. We said we'd have a chat about your LinkedIn stuff. Is now a good time, or would you set a better time? Bingo. Cool. So get clear in your mind how you're going to position that. And I think that's just the difference. You'll see a big difference in getting cold calls booked. Mary.
I think the other thing about this is it's about managing people's expectations. I like people to know what to expect from me. So, you know, the thing that we talked about in January, which is on the 7-touch sales process, always get commitment for the next step at every step. You know, oh, if I send you something, when would you be able to look at it? Brilliant. So if I follow up so-and-so, wonderful. It's not about being pushy, but it is about, if you do want to help somebody, then, you know, and we do, don't we? If we want to help somebody, let them know what to expect. I find if my expectations are managed, brilliant. You know, it's Thursday today, we've met, we'll have that in your email inbox on Monday. So, you know, people like to know what to expect. Otherwise, they're confused. They're left hanging in the dark, and that's not a good place to leave people. So
I think it's in a way possibly subtler than that. It's not necessarily people aren't. If Jules says I'll send you 9 points and walks off, that person isn't left hanging in the dark. But I think what the difference is you've got a whole room full of people who are doing the same thing. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, give me your business card. Thanks very much. And off they wander. That is the norm. And if you're going, I'll send you my 9 points, that's one notch above, and which is better. But actually what you want to be is the leader, because most people out there are not good, not just at networking. Most people do not know how to market and sell. And I'm talking about directors of multi-million-pound businesses and corporates, not just the one-man small SMEs that are in your networking events. Most people out there have not trained in sales and marketing. Even people owning marketing consultancies are not trained in all of the different ways that you're starting to look at things. You know, I've worked with marketing consultants that, yeah, well, we sit down and we help our clients explore their ideal clients, and we go and do customer surveys for them and yada, yada, yada. It's good stuff, but it's surface stuff. It's not all of the strategies and how to step up and take massive action of the right stuff consistently, and how to write headlines and whiff them and oof. So you can lead. You are the leaders. And people will allow themselves to be led because they do want certainty. They're just not used to being led. And so take the lead, because you're helping people sort of with marketing. I was going to say something else. People are just not used to it. So yes, get the next steps. But lead. I can help you. You know, if you'd like me to have a look at your profile, or you'd like a chat about what you're doing and how I can help you more, and what we could do for you to get even better leads, or better, you know, make sales out of the use of LinkedIn, I'd be happy to have a chat. Not please, can I call you? I'd be happy to have a chat. I'm the leader. I'm the LinkedIn coach. I can make you money. So if you want my help, I'd be, you know, sort of happy to help. You position it, people will allow themselves to be led. Yeah. Any comments? Anybody else? We had somebody dial in on the phone, but they've gone, so I don't know who that was.
Leslie.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's at 4 Networking, so he's been speaking.
All right, that's fine. So anybody else got any other comments, thoughts around that? Okay. Let's touch on, thanks for sharing that, Jules. I want at least one of those each week, because that's not just powerful for you, it's powerful for everybody. It's even a reminder for me that I can get my RAS even more laser focused when walking into a room and positioning it. So I value you pushing that forward and sharing that. That's been powerful. Thank you. Steve, Steve, do you want to touch on LinkedIn? What's you mentioned the search. I suppose a better question, because I have premium upgrade. I think I only pay about 150 quid a year. So I don't know whether I have grandfather rights or something bizarre. I haven't looked at all the premium packages lately. Is there anybody on the call who does not have premium that can answer the question about advanced search or not, and whether it's been taken away? Christina, you were not on premium at some point. Are you now?
Oh yeah, I've been on premium for a year and 2 years.
I'll shut up then. Anybody?
Hold on, Andy. The advanced search facility is disappearing from both the free version and the premium version.
Okay.
So it will only be made available to people who cough up £70 a month for Sales Navigator. Premium currently is about £32 a month. So you probably
pay 40.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, more than that.
It's that sort of ballpark figure, and I haven't got the new layout yet, so I don't know. But everyone has said that the advanced search facilities have been removed from both the premium version, i.e. the low high cost one, and the free version. So, and I think that is what is going to cause angst. I already had a couple of comments back from my my emails on my post. People who have bought the premium to get the advanced search, because like us, they can all see the advantage of it. They were both in the States, these people, so they rolled it out a bit earlier in the States, and they were mightily hacked off. They couldn't apparently use advanced search. Now, I know you can use Boolean logic in the ordinary search facility. Don't get worried about what Boolean logic is, but it allows you to do some of the things we could do in advanced search. But I'm not sure, for example, whether the ability to search for connections within a certain distance of your postcode is still available, because I haven't got the new format. So I don't know if anyone has got the new format
I
yet.
have.
You
Julie?
have.
Yeah.
So what if you go into? Sorry, Andy, just sort of carrying this through. If you go in, the advanced search button has disappeared, hasn't it? On both the free version. Let's assume the free version and the premium are going to be the same on these. Is it still there, Julie?
What it's done is it's changed. I mean, I can, if I want, do you want me to share screens and show you?
Yeah, if you can at your end, that'd be cool.
I'll give it a go.
You're already showing you're more advanced technically than I am. I wouldn't.
Julie's a whiz on sharing screens on Skype and all sorts of places. I think Leslie's back on with some coffee cups and stuff in the background.
Okay, I'm just coming off Facebook and I'm onto LinkedIn. Okay, right. Let me go to new profile. Okay, so now I'll. Can you?
Waited with bated breath.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Julie started screen saving. Wow. Hi, Julie.
Okay. So this is what it looks like now when you go into your profile.
Yeah.
Okay. The main things that I've noticed that have changed.
Hang on, I can't see anything, so why can't I see your screen?
Second screen, Andy?
Huh?
Have you got second screen?
Yes. Of course.
I'm thinking you might have some of the stuff in front of it. I've got Julie's
Not
up.
good to think.
It's not good to think.
Below the line, below the line.
All right, talk through it, Jules. I haven't got it, but others obviously have.
Okay, so.
Fine, Andy.
I got you now. Thanks, babe.
Okay. Main changes are here. Where you, oh no, it doesn't do it there. Let's just, yeah, I'll show you on somebody else's because that's not going to show on mine. Anyway, if you scroll down, see what I'll do. I will go straight to my network. Okay, and then you see you've got your search here. Okay, if I click on search, it goes through my last lot of searches. If you click on that, on the hourglass, the magnifying glass even, you'll see that you get the new bar that opens and you can search for people, jobs, companies, posts and more. So that is how you use the search. You need to put very specific things in there and then it'll take your search down. Rather than have the tick box along the side that we used to have, you have to put them all in along that bar along there. For your locations, Steve's right, you can't do it now to within a certain area of a postcode. It's either United Kingdom, Birmingham, United Kingdom, or Coventry. You can add them. I don't know how because I haven't done it yet.
Just type in a location. Yeah. So if you wanted Hales Owen, that's probably too specific. But you can, I think you can get around that postcode thing through there by the look of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might be able to, I mean, let me see, B45 8TU. Let's see whether it will accept a postcode. So that's the trouble that I've got now. It won't let you add. So it could be that you need to have premium to be able to add anything.
No, I try typing in a town, Jules.
Try typing in Chester. Anything? No. Try typing Chester or something.
There you go.
Yeah, click on that.
So it's a drop down menu basically.
Yeah.
So you could.
What about keywords? So if you wanted to find property investors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does work. Property. Is that ORS?
OR.
Yeah.
I'd just try OR.
There it is. It's popped down.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
The results for property investor.
Now, this is where the Boolean logic comes in, isn't it? Because if you put, that will pick up anybody who's got the word property or anyone who's got the word investor in there.
Unless you
I'm not sure there, Steve, because it's dead. Look,
Yeah.
property investors. So I think the key thing, are you premium, Jules?
No, I'm not.
Cool. So I think the thing to do is to play around with it, because it doesn't look as though we're that limited from what they're changing. It's interesting to see the format of how it looks, because I don't have that. I think that my experience of LinkedIn, and it looks like it's there, because yes, you've put it in inverted commas, but also when you started to type it, it predicted what you were looking for, and you clicked on all property investors. How easy it is to search for first or second tier. It looks like there's going to be a way around it.
It's the same as it was before. If I pop back again.
So what I suggest is playing around with it.
Second.
There you go. So I'm not sure it's limiting much. I think what we've got to be careful of is when change happens, you get people surprise, panic, blame. Surprise, panic, react. They jump out their pram and they start to moan about it. The worst case scenario is LinkedIn do make it only available at 70 quid a month. And it is what it is. And I pay $200 a month for my CRM. I pay 50 quid a month for networking events. I pay yada, yada, yada. It's part of my marketing. But what it's looking like here is actually, it's not restricted us by much. So what I suggest, because we're experts, is, and this is where most people just don't, they surprise, panic, react, and they moan and blame. Whereas if you spend a bit of time surfing around it, I would imagine we can find a way around it. And actually, if I look at the people I've coached, how many use that advanced search lots and lots and lots and lots? Because as they start to build connections, people connect with them. They're now seeing their second tier. Remember, I do believe people find you more from surfing than searching. And I had a conversation with Simon Withington the other day he said, I feel a bit like, his words were, like I might be taking the piss, showing people or talking about people wishing you happy birthday, congratulations on a new job. And I said, our role is to look at how to use this creatively to get conversations with prospects. So I just had 130 odd people wish me congratulations on my anniversary for a job. I copied and pasted a message that said, thanks for your congratulations. I'm having one of the best years I've had in 14 years of business. And what you'll probably know from my profile is we're looking for great people that can achieve this, but I can also help you with LinkedIn. I copied and pasted that to 130. Let me know if you'd like help with yada, yada, yada. I ended up with about half a dozen conversations. So actually, it's about, rather than the I know kicking in, saying, oh, I know, I don't like the look of this, or I don't like what they've done, or I don't think this is of value. The question to ask is, how can I use it of value? And there's all sorts of things that we can do that other people are not stopping and thinking about. There was some stuff going around, and I know it came from some of you guys, about it might be a good idea to download your profile and save it. And I think I put a post up, you bet your backside it is, because what I noticed, and I didn't know until I downloaded my profile, that it lists every single testimonial that you've got. Oh boy, now I can copy paste them, I can select them by industry type and personality type, and I can put them on the back of my proposals. I can go post them on Facebook and say, bloody hell, I've just read these, I'm feeling really chuffed, forgotten some of the impacts some of my clients have, some massive action they take, ain't it awesome? Your people in the US and most people are not thinking like this. So it's about, I think, keeping the open mind and going, how can I get around this? How can I make it work? I think it's opportunity. I think it's a massive opportunity. And just seeing what Jules has surfed around, I don't think it's going to restrict us much. But I do believe you can engage with people far more around all the surfing. So even if we are limited, but it doesn't look like we are, does it, Steve?
Well, this is a problem. I haven't had a chance to have a look at it. It doesn't, from this, the issue which I think a lot of people used to say email is the killer application for people, and it's the thing that makes them go onto the internet, and they're right. And that was back in the day. I do think certainly of all the wow factor, the advanced search facility was the one that carried quite a lot of wow at the workshops and the presentations that I've done. What I'm encouraged by is the fact that the locations, it'll depend on the granularity. In other words, how close you can get on the locations. For example, I saw Reading there, which for a lot of my people is going to be fine. However, the idea, we need to know, for example, how far within each of those does it look?
Yeah.
You know, so because before you could put up, it's lovely. You're going to say somebody, oh, you're looking for purchasing managers. Well, how much would a mailing list of every purchasing manager in the packaging industry within 10 miles of this spot here, how much would you pay for that?
Yeah.
And they say, wow.
And
So it's the nuances of it. And what really actually is pissing people off is that they're paying for this and losing it. It's to be fair, the free people are used to being hip with this. The premium people have paid £30 or £40 a month, and they're losing functionality. And as somebody pointed out to me in a meeting yesterday, a networking meeting, I pay £10 a month and I get Outlook, I get Word, I get PowerPoint. You get all of that for £10 a month. So £70 a month for Navigator's a lot, £40 for Premium's a lot, and they're taking away functionality from it. I don't subscribe to that, but what I need us to be prepared to do is be able to answer it. And thanks, Jules. This has been useful to actually see it. I wasn't sure from the webinars that I'd watched how much of the search there still was. As soon as I find it on my premium version, I'll let you know. Incidentally, I have upgraded to Navigator now as well, and the Navigator version is good, but it's bloody expensive.
I think there's some great points there. I think you're right. The power of my keynote, and Christina and Dave saw me do it last week, is I end with the search. I start at the beginning of a keynote and say, one of the things I'm going to ask you to do is think about someone you want to connect with. And then I show them the advanced search. I got paid 500 quid to speak in front of a global sales team. And one high-D sales guy came up at the end and said, do you know what? You'd lost me all the way through until that last one. And that was made the whole presentation worthwhile. Did you do that on purpose? And I just winked at him. Of course, I left it till the end because I knew what sale would grab salespeople. Now, if I've got to adapt it slightly, because I'm of the mind that once I start working with you, I don't spend a lot of time with my clients on advanced search. They use it, they can find it. Google's just found a way around property investors. But if I pulled that up in a keynote and said, there's 9,500 property investors, who'd like some of those to get to? I can create the same amount of wow in that presentation by showing people that search. And then I will counter people that say, I pay 10 quid a month for Office and Microsoft. Fantastic. How much business does that get you? Well, it doesn't. So how much would you spend on telemarketing, SEO, sales reps, websites, direct mail, and I could name another 83 strategies. If we have to pay for upgrade, it is what it is. But looking at that, I don't think it's going to do us much grief. What I would say to everybody is keep playing around with it and keep sharing what you've noticed and what your thoughts are, because I do believe the power we have is to adopt the approach of, okay, how do we make it work? It's like the approach of skills and endorsements. You will get people, and I always get people go, oh, I hate skills and endorsements. People endorse me and I don't even know them. I go, that's right. And they're doing it wrong. But it is what it is. So let's make it work for us. So I need a block of 10 by 10 photos to prove credibility, but why not use the skills as search terms? Oh, never thought of that. That's right. If we're going to use a banner, why don't we use a banner that says what it does on the tin, that actually is simple but is branded? So people are not thinking about it. You ought to be able to turn almost everything around. I'm quite pleased looking at what Julie's done, because I don't think on the face of it there's a lot of hindrance. Keep at it, Jules, and let us know.
Can I just show you something else as well that's new? We've got messaging.
Why is that new?
Because that actually comes up like Facebook.
It's instant messaging as opposed to the normal kind of flat messaging area. The normal messaging area is still there, but you've got this pop-up box in the same way that Facebook pops up for you. So you could be having, you know, real-time online chats with people in that online box.
We have that under the old format.
Is that on
It just
page?
takes us into a different window. It doesn't pop up in front, but the format looks the same.
This is
The
just
old
this,
message is still there.
yeah.
That one where it runs down the side.
Okay.
So that's it. Or you can, as I say, you can have them as a pop-up.
Much more Facebook style.
Yeah, and if you have a look at,
So that's not changing what we can access. That's just changing the
Improving.
aesthetic platform, isn't it?
yeah,
Just improving.
There is one change that I think most of us will need to make. It's a minor one. If you go back to the home page, it's your summary. The summary, the amount of information that's displayed on your summary now, if you go back, is much more limited.
Well, you get 2 lines, don't you?
You get 2 lines. So I've already had a look and thought about my summary and whether I need to make some tweaks to it. And I think, you know, if people are concerned, that is one thing they should look at. You know, any gumph in there, and they you know, their summary will be devalued somewhat.
This is another big change.
What?
You've only got the top 3 now that are visible.
Right.
Straight away. So those are the 3 that you need to focus on. So as I say, you can click down and get the rest, but it's not the same as it was before, where you've got all the pictures of the people that had endorsed.
Mm.
And so we use, this is typical LinkedIn and great. I adapted it because of what it was before and people didn't like it. So what it looks like they've done is they've gone, okay, we'll hide all the photos. Right. Yeah. And I think the thing is, it's easy for us to find our way around this new form. Let's call it layout. So all you've got to think about is how you're working with the client. The principles are the same. When the message format you've just showed us, the old message format that you've said, here's where it is right now. I don't know whether there's anyone on the call, maybe Christina, who can remember the message format before that, where you could easily see your messages chronologically and messages that were unopened. You could save messages. So you had an inbox and a pending, if you like. And they changed it to what it is now, and everyone was in uproar. And I just went, it's going to take you X amount of hours to get used to the new system. It's like buying a new phone. If you go from Apple to Nokia or whatever, you'll get used to it very quickly. And that's the approach as a coach. You've got to be coaching your prospects in. And great, let me show you, because those guys will be even more pissed off. Brilliant. Let's get together and let me show you how to use it. Because I don't think we can't do anything we could do before, pretty much. You know, LinkedIn are not going to alienate a whole load of people and get 400 million people to pay 70 quid a month. I can't see that happening. And looking at what they've done, they haven't. They've changed what was the word I used? They've changed the layout predominantly, and that's okay. You'll find your way around it instantly, and then we can help our clients to do the same. And I think it does look tidier in a way. It looks more modern. Is it tidier or is it more modern? I think it looks more modern.
Modern.
There's more white space.
Do you know what? One of the things that, aesthetically, I think it looks more modern. We haven't got this white block of name, headline, and photo like a carbuncle on your banner. You've got this lovely round photo, and it just, I don't know, it just looks different. Go play. I'm conscious of time. Thanks for sharing that. And any new things that you notice, pop them in the Facebook group. Let's all share it. And I think the big thing that I want to get across is just keep an open mind and ask yourself, okay, how do I make it work? How do I get around it so I can, A, make it work for me, and B, show my clients? Very quickly, the one thing that's been of most value, we probably need to come off screen sharing now, Jules. Hey, now I've got a picture of Mary. More scary. Cool. Christina, what's been the one thing of most value to you?
Remembering to get permission to follow up by phone as fast as possible.
good thing to remember. Thank you. And Dave?
All these changes actually play to an advantage to us. I just typed in property investors and Maidenhead in the search and got 60 people in Maidenhead that are property investors.
Oh, nice.
So if other people think, if they're thinking, oh, advanced search has gone, can't do this, can't do that, and we know the way to do it, it's even more powerful for us. And a similar thing as Steve mentioned, the summary now is the 2 lines and you have to click. So now you say to people, you've now got 2 lines to grab attention with your summary. The banner bit is thinner. So when these things change, as long as we keep up with it, our message becomes even more powerful.
Nice. Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Dave. Julie?
Same again, not giving them the 9 points and really staying until you've got phone numbers and permission to contact them straight away.
Yeah. We'll talk about nice being... You're at sort of lose-win. You've helped them, but it hasn't necessarily helped you. So it's about win-win. Stop being so nice. But we'll come on to that. Yeah, definitely. And the reality is, and we've proved it so many times, they'll go away and not do a lot anyway. So you actually owe it to them to get a COD call with them so you can help them more.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Thanks, Jules. And Steve?
Finally, having seen the new search is useful, and also frankly the reminder about networking. And I'm always trying to sell 15-minute critiques as part of a cold call, if you like. But to remember that that's what you're after and have your RAS set before you go in there is always useful.
Perfect. You're right. Awesome. And thanks all. I was going to say have a great week. Well, see you Thursday. I'll see you Thursday morning. Mary, do you want to wrap up succinctly and finish?
Yeah, just looking forward to seeing most of you on Thursday. I'll be making notes as usual. I think the point of culture for this week, it's worth looking at number 2, which is consistency and congruency. It links in with practicing what we preach, because if we are more consistent in our actions so that people know what to expect, they're comfortable with us and we're teaching other people to do it too. So we kind of have to raise our own game. And I thought that was a lovely reminder through the call today. In terms of following up and agreeing things and keeping the next stages going. So keeping that whole pipeline moving. Looking forward to seeing you Thursday. New venue, remember, the stables, closer to the motorway. Call me if you need anything, but the details are in the Facebook group. So looking forward to catching up. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.